We are in a rich run of form with Forest Green Rovers sitting top of League 2, but today we face Reading in the FA Cup third round. And is it all about to go wrong? Hello and welcome back to part 6 of our Zero to Hero series with Forest Green Rovers, where today we are facing Reading in the FA Cup third round and then Leighton Orient in the League 2. So since you were last with me, we have had a pretty decent run of results. Directly after yesterday's episode, we did then lose to Halifax 2-1, which put a little bit of a dent in our lovely run of form. But since then, 3 wins on the trot. We have just had 2 draws against Carlisle and against Rochdale, but I am putting some of that down to injuries. Currently out with injuries, you can see we've got 4 players. Joe McGlynn is out with a pulled thigh. He's going to be out for about another 5 to 10 days. Jordan Moore-Taylor is out for another 3 days, as is a Fagan Walcott, which has left quite a major gap in our central defence. And then we've got Dermot Lee as well that was out. He's out for another 4 months, so I think he's pretty much resigned at this point to always being a backup goalkeeper. The interesting thing with that, if we have a look at the injury history as well, is at the same time that Dermot Lee was out, we also had our other goalkeeper out. You can see here Luke McGee out with a virus. He was out for 12 days. So there was a point in history where we had no goalkeeper at all. We were playing with the lovely greyed out goalkeepers you get, who surprisingly actually kept a fair amount of clean sheets. So it wasn't all that bad. If we have a look at the league then, as I mentioned in the intro, we are top of the league. Rochdale do have a game in hand, but even if they win that one, they can't catch up with us quite yet. So 52 points on the board after 27 games played. We are looking very good for automatic promotion and probably very good for winning the league if we keep up this vein of form. You may have noticed as well, though, it is the 10th of January, and with that, that has brought some transfers. On the outside, we have had some players leave, and again, it is leaving us with a few gaps. The first out the door on the 1st of January was Ben Knight. We obviously brought him in the summer. He never really performed that well, and Portsmouth came in and offered us £275,000 for him. For a player we got on a free, that seemed like a really good deal. So Ben Knight has headed over to Southampton. Corey O'Keefe, we saw in the last episode, was leaving. He's headed over to Tranmere for £70,000. Connor Thomas is also left at the age of 32. He probably wasn't going to play a huge amount for the rest of the season. £40,000 for him. He's unfortunately gone to Grimsby. We feel very sorry for him, but look, it was his poor decision to make. Alex Kirk has also left. I would have quite liked to have kept hold of him. But at the time, we had more central defenders than we knew what to do with, and £150,000 for a player that was desperately asking to leave and bringing down the squad morale as a result seemed like a pretty good deal. We then got those 2 injuries, and it seems like less of a good deal. But we ignore that. On the inside, it's just the 2 signings at the moment. Jason Steele comes in for £30,000 as a backup goalkeeper. He's just played the 1 game at the moment, but he is just sat there at 35 years old just to be a backup should we need him. He shows up as better than Luke McGee. I strongly question that. I've said this before, especially with goalkeepers. Star ratings, absolutely not everything. And then we've brought in another loanee just to cover us in those central defender spots, which is Erkan Deniz, a regen from Watford. He's currently 19 years old, here on loan for the rest of the season. We do have an option to buy, but it is 1.2 million. So that would involve us, A, getting promoted, and B, getting quite a sizable transfer budget that I think we're unlikely to get. He is a League 2 standard player, potential to be Championship. So if we got a huge amount of transfer budget when we get promoted, then potentially that could be a very, very good purchase. But for now, he's just going to be here on loan to cover us. We are paying a lot of wages for him, but we really, really needed a central defender, and no one was joining us. We did have a few players looking at in terms of transfers. They all ended up going to other clubs, which was very, very irritating. And he is a little bit of a desperation signing. Heading into our match against Reading, though, this is going to be the team we are using today. We've got McGee in goal, McDonald, Pickles, Deniz and Hawkins as our back 4. We've then got Callum Jones, Hackney and Vangelis in midfield. Kanate over on the left, McDonald on the right, and Iro starting up front today. Everyone's nice and fully fit, which is you know, we like to see it. This is going to be Denise's debut as well. He has only just joined the club, so it'll be very interesting to see how he does. And our main concern here, if we can beat Reading, because we are at home, that would be lovely. We'd probably make a little bit of money out of this tie. It would have been better for us if it was away, but we'll take the home tie. Hopefully, you'd imagine that we are full to the rafters today when we're facing Reading. And if we can beat them, that'd be great. But the main objective here today is not to take a battering and ruin the team morale. As we head into this match, though, if you do enjoy today's episode, please do drop a like down below. It is really, really helpful with the engagement rate and all that lovely stuff on YouTube, and does really help support the channel. Right then. Turning our focus firmly now over to this tie against Reading. We're going to get the weird highlight we always get at the start of matches because I play on extended highlights. I know I'm an absolute monster. Finley McDonald here, though. This is quite a long highlight. Are we going to go have a shot on goal here? Hawkins holding up the ball, turning and twisting. Finley McDonald back to Hawkins, back to McDonald again. We are holding the ball quite well here. Callum Jones now playing that one into Iro. Iro has got a shot off. I thought that one was going in. He was offside anyway. That would have been a fantastic start to the match, wouldn't it? 45 seconds in, going 1-0 up against Reading. Reading, who obviously are in a better league than us currently. I don't know where they are in their league. We can probably have a look in a second. McDonald into Iro. Iro's had another shot here. That one is onside and is going to draw a corner out of Reading. Let's go have a quick look at them, actually, just so we know where they are. So here they are, 14th in the championship. Quite a long way above us, really. Back to the match in hand then, and we have got that corner as a result of Iro's shot. Kanate is going to be taking this one, swinging it into the near post. No one getting their head to that one, no. And Boyce Clark, the Reading goalkeeper, coming out to very, very comfortably claim that one. I've also noticed as well, they have got Balogun, formerly of Arsenal. Maybe still of Arsenal in this universe, I'm not sure, but definitely formerly of Arsenal or currently of Arsenal. Definitely has played for Arsenal and a very, very dangerous striker in former FMs at least. So I'm hoping today he has not got his shooting boots on, because the last thing we need to do is find a Florian Balogun in fine form against us. That early surge we had there, definitely over very, very quickly, and now it's pretty much what we expected, which is Reading dominating the tie and us kind of getting battered. I mean, we haven't conceded. That's about as good as we can expect. I mean, a win would be fantastic. A draw wouldn't be that bad because it means we would go back to Reading in the replay as well, and we'd get a nice amount of money out of that. And for a club of Forest Green's level, cash, it is very, very important. Vangelis into Iro. Iro has scored his 24th goal of the season against Reading. It's completely against the run of play. We've completely hit them, not on the counter, because I believe that started with a throw-in from McDonald. Yes, it did. There it is. So not really on the counter, but definitely against the run of play, and we've just kind of snuck in there. Iro hitting that one first time with the cross coming in from the left, and we're 1-0 up against Reading. Is this going to be a very, very early upset in the FA Cup third round? What's the furthest that Forest Green have ever been in the FA Cup? Is it third round? Have they been deeper into the FA Cup? Balogun is through on goal here, though. Just putting a complete end to everything I was just saying there. Putting a goal past McGee. That is a little bit more what we expected. Balogun playing that one back and then making the run forward himself. Managing to lose both of our defenders from that through ball. And McGee didn't really stand a chance there. Do we care about Leon Hawkins' yellow card in the next match? Probably not. We'd quite like him to play this one. Let's focus on this one first. I am looking down at the bench as well, because obviously we're coming into the 76th minute. No one's looking too tired. Yes, they are. They weren't when I was looking at it. Now they are. Denise is having an awful match, though. So Charlie Wiggett going to come on for him. Leon Hawkins, pretty tired now. Sean Robinson comes on that side. We've obviously got other tired players here as well, but we don't have anyone suitable for them. Kanate can come off, and Matt J can come on over on that left-hand side. We'll just put him as an inside forward on attack, as we do when we bring him on, and we encourage the team a little bit, and we'll just see what the rest of this match looks like. It is Reading with a corner in the next highlight. If they could not score this, we could either go and nick one or at least salvage a draw out of it and a big replay. Instead of that, though, Liam Moore has just scored from range. I mean, at this point, we need to just go straight away, go to attacking and try and get something out of this tie. We haven't got long left now. We managed to hold Reading at bay for a long time in this match, but we haven't managed to do it forever. Unfortunately, McGee now conceding 2 goals, and we're in a little bit of a pickle here if we want to progress. Hackney comes off. I think James Jones comes on for him. And who else have we got here? Jack Marriott. I mean, Iro's playing fine, so we don't really need him at the moment, unless Callum Jones comes off and we bring on Jack Marriott here. Hold on, bear with me here, guys. Target forward on attack. Marriott there alongside Iro. We go attacking. We try and just throw in the kitchen sink to get something out of this tie. We're going to encourage the team a little bit more. We are into added time now, and it looks like after that substitution, we're not going to get any more highlights, so we've no idea if Marriott worked well with Iro there. Not well enough, either way. I mean, it's pretty much what we've just said to the lads. Unlucky. It's really a pretty good performance. They've put a disappointing collapse, was that from the media. How is that a disappointing collapse? We were playing against a championship level team and we lost 2-1 after being 1-0 up for quite a lot of the tie. I think that's about as far away from a disappointing collapse as you can get, really. What we now need to worry about, as I mentioned, is whether or not this is going to affect our morale. At the moment, the dynamics, I believe, are relatively good. Joe McGlynn still wants to leave, as does Jack Marriott. I believe if we have a look at Jack Marriott, oh, he hasn't changed his mind. Jack Marriott still wants us to sell him and not sell him. This man is insane. We can't do both of these, Jack Marriott. We're just going to offer him out again, I think. I mean, if we sell him, then it doesn't matter that we break the other promise of not selling him, because he won't be here, so he won't be able to be angry about it. Or if he is angry about it, we won't know about it. So hopefully Jack Marriott will be leaving soon. For now, though, we need to turn our attention to the match against Leyton Orient in 6 days' time. We may have made some transfers by then. Who knows? If we have, I'll show you in a second. Right, so a transfer has happened, and we've brought in Baker Boati, probably. He's gone over from Birmingham for £90,000. He's not completely up to the same par as the rest of the squad at the moment, but he is a decent League 2 player with the potential to be Championship, so quite a cheap fee for him. When you look at that, he also plays as an inverted winger rather than a winger on this side, but he was the best we could find to give ourselves a little bit more squad depth there. It also means that Robertson can then be the backup right back and right winger and just cover us in a few more areas. No one going out at the moment, no transfer bids, nothing happening there. And we are now today ready to face Leyton Orient, and this is the matchday squad we're going to be using. We've got McGee in goal, McDonald, Pickles, Wiggett and Hawkins is our back four, Jones, Hackney and Kanate in midfield, Burt on the left, Baker Boati, I'm going to have to get his name right, Boati over on the right, and then Vangelis up front. Iro is out injured with the same virus that McGee had a couple of weeks ago, so he's out for 2 weeks, probably about another week now, because that happened directly after we hit continue, after I left you a second ago. But Vangelis has proven he can do it up front. Let's hope he can do it in this match. We need to get a win in this episode. We've lost against Reading. We need to make sure that that bad form, quote unquote, doesn't continue. We've got Swindon and Rochdale both breathing down our necks. Yeovil there in the wings as well. Cambridge, Chesterfield and Colchester. None of them are very far away. We're very much, it's kind of the 7th and above is all very equal, and then you've got Northampton who are down in 8th, so we're kind of challenging for where we sit in that top 7. Are we going up as champions? Are we going up via the playoffs? Are we not going up at all? All of those options are possible at the moment, so we just need to make sure that we are winning our matches when we do play them, and we don't let that match against Reading affect us too badly. Leyton Orient, though, apparently an absolutely filthy team who are getting loads and loads of yellow cards in this match. Not exactly ideal for us, because it does impact how you can play when your players keep keep being fouled every time you try and make an attack. This is the first proper highlight, though, of this match on the 40th minute, and it's Leyton Orient on the ball, just playing around with the ball at the back, which I find a little bit concerning. Now playing that one forward. It's a ball into the box. McGee, though, safe pair of hands on that occasion, and it isn't really threatening us too much. But we are going to get to half-time. With the score still 0-0, no one really performing all of that well. Okay. So everyone was angry with that reaction. Pump Fist, you have the ability to make difference for us today. No, we've ruined all of the team's morale here. They apparently didn't like whatever we just said, which I believe was the media have been on your backs, go out and give a good performance. The media have been on our backs as well, which is kind of surprising given we are top of the league. It's not like we're performing poorly, and yet the media seem on a bit of a witch hunt when you see it in between games. Very much sort of going, yeah, but they're going to collapse in form in a minute. They're not all of that good, which, that's fine. We're suited. We don't mind being a bit of the underdogs for the league if that's how the media want to paint us. What I would like to do, though, would be go and get a goal here and not concede. Fantastic save for McGee there. It is another corner, though, for Leyton Orient. And it is getting a little bit concerning, and we're not seeing any highlights for us, and all highlights in the opposite and wrong direction. Pickles there dealing with that corner, but only heading it away as far as Smith, and that's the end of the highlight. When you look at this, we should really be winning this match. Evangelis is having an absolute awful match. Jack Marriott going to come on for him up front. Possibly one of his last games for the club. Hard to tell at the moment. No one's really looking at him or coming in or showing in any sort of interest in signing him. Pickles having a bad match as well. Moore Taylor is going to come on for him and just make those 3 substitutions. Yeah, no one really showing any interest in Jack Marriott. So whether he does stay here, whether he doesn't, he's going to be unhappy either way. I think the best option for us would be for him to leave the club because, you know, we kind of want to get rid of his wage bill. We don't necessarily need him when we've got Iro. So, yeah. 92nd minute, we have got a corner. It's into Wiggett. Wiggett, I believe, there has hit the post. That will probably be the end of the match now. Although we have got another highlight. Can we regain possession here and just launch the ball up the other end? That would be lovely. Baker Boatti trying to get on the end of that one, not quite managing it. It's a ball into the box now. Robertson just hooking that one away. Another ball into the box. That one's gone over. You'd think that, though, that has got to be the last proper highlight. That is surely the end of the match. McGee, though, seems to have something else to say about this. If he can launch this ball forward quick enough and try and find Jack Marriott, then we have still got 20-25 seconds left on the clock or so. We could go and grab a goal. Weirder things have happened. Instead of that, it's just a big, long, aimless ball to nobody. And now we are back defending the attack from Leyton Orient. Robertson now bringing the ball forward. Can we do something towards this end of this tie? I mean, it'll be 1 point on the board, but you can kind of tell instantly, maybe we need to be looking at a striker in this window because the moment Iro isn't up front, we are a very, very different team. We are nowhere near as effective without him in the team. And he is going to pick up injuries and be out of form occasionally. We probably need to be able to deal with that a little bit better than we do. Wiggett, big ball forward, but the referee has blown his whistle. That is going to be the end of the match for today. It is a 0-0 draw against Leyton Orient. It does mean we remain top of the league. Only 2 points, but we remain top of the league. Does that mean like Rochdale have lost then? Rochdale lost 1-0 to Northampton. Swindon must have won their one against Newport, which they did, as did Yeovil. But that loss for Rochdale really helping us out there because we do remain top of the league at the end of this episode. Having a look forward then into the future, I'm going to play through some more matches. We'll probably come back, I'd imagine, around sort of Northampton, Crawley, Carlisle, somewhere around there. We then have got Wrexham are 21st, and we've got Yeovil. Yeovil and Swindon will be a big episode, I'd imagine. So maybe Northampton and Crawley towards the end of February, start of March time, I think is where we are most likely to be coming back and picking up in the next episode. Hopefully, with a couple more transfers done and a little bit more squad depth. If you have enjoyed today's episode, of course, please do drop a like down below. It is very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you very much for watching.